Hey everyone, this is C.S. Shivam Murarka, and today I'm going to talk about the difference between these three terms: amalgamation, acquisition, and merger. Well, this video is going to be a very short video talking about the main difference about these three terms. And we are going to discuss the important, in fact, the most important, but the basic difference. We are not going to be, merged into the tons of concept. We are just going to discuss a very basic concept. Here we go. So, guys, let's start with the first term called amalgamation. So, what does amalgamation means? Let's assume that there is a one company called A, there is another company called B, and when they get amalgamated into each other, they form a total new entity called C. So A plus B is equal to C. This is amalgamation. The existence of A after amalgamation is, it does not exist anymore. So the existence of A is vanished after amalgamation. The existence of company called B is also vanished after amalgamation. So altogether, after A and B amalgamating into each other forms a total new entity called C. Right? So this is amalgamation. Now let's talk about the second concept, that is called merger. So what does merger means? It means A, then there is a company called B, and when it's get merged together, the only one company exists. Let's assume here that company is A. So A plus B is equal to A. This is merger. A very recent example of this merger in Indian market is the merger of few banks into one bank called SBI, that is State Bank of India. Like for example, the bank called State Bank of Bikaner and Jaipur, SBBJ, with other banks merged into only one bank called State Bank of India. So this is a very live example of merger, because the existence of State Bank of Bikaner and Jaipur and other banks is vanished. Now the only one bank exists, and that is called State Bank of India. So this is the merger. So the existence of A is there, the existence of B is not there, and this is how the only A exists. Correct? Now, the third example, and what is that? Acquisition. Well, I will say this is the most important and interesting concept of acquisition. What do you think what can happen here? Here, there's a company called A, then there is a company called B, and let's assume that A acquired B. So now there is again A plus B. What does it mean? It means that before there was existence of company called A, after also there is the existence of company called A. Before there was the existence of company called B, and after acquisition also there is the existence of company called B as it was. The only difference is that now A can be called as a parent company of B. So this is the main difference between a merger and acquisition, or you can say the difference between amalgamation, merger, and acquisition. Supplement to this concept, I would like to give you one more hint why and how the company thinks that which way to go when there are two companies A and B and they want to come together in one platform. Whether they should go for the amalgamation. If they want to make a new entity altogether, of course they can go for the amalgamation. The recent example of this amalgamation in the Indian market, which is of course you must have heard about, is the Vodafone Idea. The Vodafone and Idea amalgamated into each other and made a very new company called V. See, this is the perfect example of amalgamation, where the existence of A doesn't lie there, existence of B is not there, and the new company called C is formed, right? Again, merger, I have given you an example, and then third is the acquisition. So which way to go? Amalgamation, merger, and acquisition. If the company think that one company has to get vanished and only one company wants to be in existence, then they go for the merger. But actually, I think there can be many factors deciding behind that which way to go. But one of the main factors and the basic factor from a very general point of view I'm talking about, right, is or can be what happened. For example, in normally if you will see that there's a startup called B and there's a very big company called A. When A acquires company called B, what happens? Before acquisition I'm talking about, before acquisition there is a stand-alone balance sheet of A which only reflect the transactions, performance, and whatever, all the financial status of A. Then there is a company called B, and there is a stand-alone balance sheet of company called B, which will always reflect about the B performance and the transactions. Now, when the acquisition happens, then also the stand-alone balance sheet of A will reflect only the performance of A, and the stand-alone balance sheet of B will reflect only the performance of B. Yes. So all the, let's assume that the B is not very performing well. So of course all the B activities and performance and transactions is not affecting the stand-alone balance sheet of A. So it is as performing as it was performing before acquisition, right? So what does it mean? Of course, if you want to know the combined performance of both the companies after acquisition, then there will also be a different balance sheet called the consolidated balance sheet, which will reflect the performance of both A and B together. But that this is CFS, consolidated balance sheet or financial statement in a broader term. But A and B will of course make their own stand-alone financial statement or balance sheet. I'm not talking about the technical terms, I'm just trying to give you the basic idea. So I'm not getting the technical balance sheet and financial statement. Just for your knowledge, balance sheet is of course the part of financial statement. But anyway, right? So this is how the acquisition work. That in acquisition, you do have the stand-alone financial statements of both the companies. But in merger, what happened? Since there is no existence of B now after merger, so only there will be one balance sheet of company called A or one financial statement of company called A. So of course, all the activities of B will only be and can be reflected in the financial statement of A only. So now it is directly from the day starting of the merger, the B activities will start affecting the balance sheet of A. So one of the many reasons is that company avoid merger maybe due to because they don't want to depict their original balance sheet of company A. They don't want to alter that with the performance of B. They wait for some time, they see that whether the company is stable or not now, or whether they should reflect the activities of company called B into A, and then they can merge together. So basically, the brief idea about is that when you don't want to affect your own balance sheet with the new balance sheet of the new company, you go for the acquisition because the identity of both the entities are there, A and B, even after acquisition. But in merger, what happens? Existence of the company called B is no more now. So the only place where the performance of both the companies can be reflected is the stand-alone financial statement of company called A. I hope I am clear. So this was the concept. I hope you liked it. And if you liked it and if you have any confusion about this, so please comment in the box. So just revising the brief idea. So the main difference between the amalgamation, merger and acquisition is amalgamation is equal to A plus B is C. Merger is A plus B is equal to A only. and equation is A plus B is equal to A plus B. Thank you. If you like the video or if you have any confusion about this concept, please comment in the comment box. I will try to address as soon as possible. If you really want to know the differences between some other confusing terms, then you can please put your comments in the comment box. And yes, please do share this video to those who need it. Thank you. Bye bye. See ya. See you soon.